All right, so we've talked a little bit about what I've been eating. My health's been improving recently. Time and effort, not overdoing things, not trying to put too much on yourself too fast is a key component in getting better. I also think that if you focus too much on your ailment, then your ailment's going to focus a lot back on you. And going to see the doctor all the time when really you're feeling okay sometimes can lead to, I don't want to say hypochondria, but something like that, where you're always thinking about your sickness. You got to keep your mind on other things that make you happy and make you feel healthy. Over time, if you have a brain tumor or you suffer from epilepsy, things may not improve. Things may get worse. Things may get better if you make the right steps. I don't know. Every day that I wake up and I feel good and I go through that day, I feel like that's a blessing because I don't know if the next day or the next moment could just change and things could go to shit again. When I had my first seizures and they were scary, I ended up in the hospital and I blacked out. I don't remember a lot of it. It was a frightening experience. I went through all different stages of grieving over that. Like, I was afraid. I didn't care. Then I was sad and angry and on all kinds of medications and still have my troubles. I still have my good days and my bad days. But I try to surround myself with people who love me, my family, people that uplift me and encourage me, and people that are there through thick and thin no matter what. Now the holidays and the winter months can be extremely difficult. I'm going to keep eating this because it's delicious and I don't want to get the cold. Tough times. My mother, for Christmas, purchased me one of these lamps I talked about earlier, one of my earlier posts. Negative ionization, where it helps with seasonal effectiveness disorder and gives you a little bit of light, and definitely helps out. Being active, going out for a walk, I say at least a half an hour every day or 5 days a week, even if it rains, getting off your ass, getting out of the house, walking. Don't sit in front of a TV. Do something that motivates you and that can help and motivate other people. Serve a purpose, a function. Just do something. That's a huge part of it. And I say this for myself because I don't do this all the time. And I need to try harder. I need to be better because I'm still, it's like Chumbawamba. I get knocked down, I get up again. That's a lame song, whatever you want to say about it, but it's true. Every time you get knocked down, get up and come harder. And don't give up, Don't give up until the time has come, because it isn't time yet. And as mentioned, I'll tell you about these. These I'm just starting today. I'm very optimistic about this. And this goes into the role of never stop trying new things. Now, they might not work. I've tried several different anti-epileptic medications. Some of them gave me epilepsy immediately. I took the pill and I'm having a seizure. Now, all these epilepsy pills, they don't help the brain tumor in my mind. They don't do anything for it. All they do is stop me from seizing. I want to stop the tumor. So I do that through eating better and, hoping there's more breakthroughs coming in science. But also I'm looking for Eastern medicine to a certain extent because Western medicine so far proves to me things like the FDA and whatnot, I'm skeptical. I don't necessarily trust the fact that, they're not really looking into medical cannabis to the degree that it needs to be looked into. Big business and big pharmaceutical is definitely, in my opinion, having a lot to say with what's going on in the development of new drugs. There's patenting, but money, the capitalist society. So you got to keep being educated on your own. Doesn't mean to go on the internet and read a bunch of things and be afraid and be like, oh, this is the answer. Approach with caution, caveat emptor, buyer beware. Don't believe anything of what you hear totally and half of what you see, like Abe Lincoln said. But here's what I'm trying. This is a new thing. 7 forests. This was given to me by David Eisen from the Quest Center of Integrative Health. First one we have right here. I'll show this to you. It's probably backwards on this, but it's called Chico and Kukama. And I'll spell that for you. CHIH-KO. And the next word is spelled CURCUMA. Also known as Shaosheng Lu Pian. And I apologize to any of my Chinese friends who are offended by that. But what this is an herbal food combination supplement. And what it includes is an ingredient called Chico, which is, I believe, an herb, but I'm not sure. I know a lot of these are this is not completely vegan, but it is all from natural sources. Curcuma, agrimony, gladisia spine, which is the spine of a fish, I believe. It's sort of like a fish bladder. Myrrh, which is the 3 wise men. Myrrh was one of the gifts. Fritillaria, Lonicera, Arca shell, oyster shell, sargassum, inula flower, punella, and subprostrata. Now, what I understand is a lot of these, because they're fish derivatives, and some of them even come from worms. I know it sounds gross, but they just come in pills, so you just swallow them. You don't have to chew them up. I'll take 3 of each of these 3 times a day, so 9 pills of each a day. This other one here, same company, and thanks, David just gave these to me to try. We don't know if they're going to work or not, but we know what's the risk. It's all natural. It's called Otolith tablets. Yu Nao Shi Ding Feng Pian. And what this is another herbal food combination supplement which contains otolith, aracema, plantago seed, haliotis, uncaria, red peony, which I know is a flower, acroris, prunella, pi-hu, that's spelled P-I-H-U, lumbricus, and silkworm. So I apologize, I'm just learning as I'm explaining what I'm doing, but again, I'll show you these labels and maybe you can decide for yourself and do some research. I have some research here, but I don't have the pamphlets in front of me. And these are what I am starting to take today. So it is with great optimism that I am approaching this new chapter. Also, vitamin D3 I think is essential. That includes the essential omegas, things that are high fatty, good foods, fish oils. That's why I was trying to eat the shrimp. I know that might have cooked it wrong or something was off with the shrimp, but usually shrimp makes me feel pretty good. Same with like salmon or haddock or cod or whatever you like. You gotta be careful for mercury and other things in some of the food you eat out of the water, but alright. The last thing I'll leave you with in this 3-part installment. I know I said not a lot of sugar and fruits, but apples, grapefruits, high in pectin. These 2 fruits are the highest in pectin. You can go buy supplements with these, but just eat one of these. Just peel it and eat it. You don't want the juice or the apple sauce because it puts sugars and shit in it. Buy an organic grapefruit, eat a half of it or a full one, or throw it into a smoothie. Apple's great in a smoothie, especially a green smoothie, because it'll cut a lot of that green flavor. Now, grapefruit's going to take over a lot of the flavor, but these two are some of the greatest things in the world. Bananas, make sure they're nice and ripe like this, like they're starting to brown, because if you get a banana that's too yellow or green, it's going to be really high in sugar and not as good for you. And here, big bag full of turmeric root and ginger root. They both look very similar to one another. Turmeric's a little bit more orangey yellow. Great. The ginger has like a little more finger shaped. That stuff right there is stuff that I recommend that has helped me feel better. I didn't think I'd be in this good of condition from when I started. I thought I was going to die. Now I'm feeling good, and I'm going on a year and a half plus with oligodendroglioma. Keep it real.